the Charles Chickshade Gymnasium for tonight's girls varsity basketball game between the Bristol Eastern High School Lancers and your New Britain High School Lady Canes. Here are your starting lineups for tonight's contest. For the visiting Bristol Eastern High School Lancers, a junior guard, number 11, Kira Collins. A senior guard, number 12, Kelly Doyle. A senior guard, number 14, Alyssa Keller. A junior forward, number 15, Janessa Gonzalez. And a senior forward, number 25, Sage Scarrett. Head coach is Tony Floyd. His assistants are Mark Camden, Beth Lafferty, and Amanda Dunn. Bristol Eastern is 9-2. For your Lady Canes, senior guard, number 3, co-captain, Maya Slade. Our senior guard, number 21, co-captain, Kaylee Lee. Our junior forward, number 24, Giovanni Carter. Our sophomore forward, number 32, Haley Cahill. And the junior guard, number 34, Layla Mahia. Head coach is Carol Piper. Her assistants are Simone Roberts, Mike Jones, and Chris Williams. The Lady Canes are 5-6. Ladies and gentlemen, would you kindly rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Everybody
Thank
from
you.
Chickshade Gymnasium.
I call your attention to the spectator expectation sign beneath the American flag. Please abide by the 5 rules outlined on the sign, and remember, be a fan and not a fanatic. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Chickshade Gymnasium at New Britain High School for tonight's regular season finale in girls basketball for the New Britain High School Lady Canes as the Hurricanes take on the Bristol Eastern Lancers. Alongside our student voice, Ryan Lipinski, I'm Randy Brochu, courtside with you. Glad to be with you tonight as New Britain looks to make their record 500 going into postseason play against the Bristol Eastern team in search of a 10th win against just 2 losses this year. And one of those wins, a 64-46 win over New Britain in Bristol earlier this season. Bristol Eastern's a terrific team. New Britain's coming off a win and looking to go into the postseason next week, however that's going to look, on a winning note against a very strong program.
Definitely, and I think the important thing to note here is New Britain's trying to get to 500 rather than Bristol Eastern getting to double-digit wins, just because this is going to be a big of a seeding game for New Britain to see if they could possibly get a home game. I'm sure Bristol Eastern has already almost clinched that.
And they also have the first points of the game off the opening tip. Great ball movement for Bristol Eastern, and Sage Scarrett lays it in, and we've got a jump ball here going for the steal, Callie Doyon. Disrupting things. The arrow does favor the Golden Hurricanes. So down 2-0. Bristol Eastern coming out with a quick basket and that tough full court defense. The home run pass by Maya Sliz into the front court. And New Britain breaks the press. They get the ball underneath for a layup attempt by Jamiley Carter. It wouldn't fall for her. And the ball goes out of bounds, but a nice job starting with Sliz to work the ball up court.
Yeah, and that's one thing you got to watch when there's a full court press, especially when they have 3 people at half court. You got to make sure no one gets behind you for an easy layup.
Well, Alyssa Keller with a lay-in. 4-0, and Burl Piper calls a timeout right here. 7:16 to go in the first, and this is about as heated as we've seen Coach Piper getting them ready for the tournament when it gets a little feistier.
Yeah, and we were talking about how they kind of started off a little shaky to start the season, been playing better as of late. So she probably wants to keep the energy up and have that going into the tournament on Monday.
There's a great article about Coach Piper in the New Britain Herald this week, and the young ladies getting used to a former Division I coach. Coach Piper, of course, spent several seasons at CCSU, her alma mater, where she's a Hall of Famer. And, of course, her first go of it here in New Britain were the glory days. 3 state championships in her 20 years as the head coach of the Hurricanes. And she's got a wealth of experience. And these young ladies get the opportunity to play for someone who coached in the Northeast Conference at the Division I college basketball level. Maya Sliz protects the ball, but then her cross-court pass is disrupted. But Bristol Eastern has got some kind of defense.
Yeah, that full court press seems to be causing all sorts of problems for New Britain so far, and that's why we saw Coach Piper call a timeout with just a little over a minute into this game.
Bristol Eastern looking to work it up the floor, and that one goes off the hands of Alyssa Keller. Out of bounds, and it is Lancers basketball. I don't think they realized it. Alyssa Keller to throw in. Callie Doyon wearing number 12. That's Janessa Gonzalez. Quick outside then in movement. Baby jump shot by Sage Scarrett, no good, and a foul on the floor. That's a foul against Bristol Eastern. An offensive foul, Sage Scarrett after the miss, going for the rebound. Full court press by Bristol Eastern.
New Britain High's having a tough time just getting it past half court right now.
Maya Sliz saves it on the baseline, only momentarily. And it will stay with the Golden Hurricanes. It was poked out by Bristol Eastern. A lot of basketball here at Chick Shea Gymnasium this week. 2 games for the girls, 2 games for the boys. Of course, it was senior night last night for the boys, a couple nights ago for the girls. And there's a layup by the senior, Maya Sliz. Great crossover move down the lane for the first points of the game for New Britain.
It was, and a quick note about Maya Sliz. The past timeout against this team, she scored 25 points in a losing effort. So if they want to have any chance of winning tonight, they're going to need another big game out of her.
Great note, Ryan. One of her better games of the year. Sliz slowing it down for New Britain. Trying to play at their pace. She picks the dribble up, kicks it out for a 3 by Kaylee Cahill, who knocked down 5 3-pointers here on Monday. Trying to keep the hot hand. Inside, the layup no good for Janessa Gonzalez. The boys playing Saturday here in their regular season finale. And they will take these games into consideration. Long 3, that's good. Out on the wing, Layla Mejia gives New Britain the lead.
That timeout must have did something for them. They came out a lot more aggressive.
They dumped the ball down low. Kira Collins lays it in. You referenced the 25 by Maya Sliz. How about Kira Collins' performance against New Britain last game, as the jump shot coming off the screen is no good for Mejia.
Team high 33 in that last timeout. That was a tremendous game from her.
On the fast break, there's Collins again. 2 quick passes to her underneath the hoop for the easy layup. Bristol Eastern up 8-5, and now a steal. Collins driving, draws contact, and goes to the line.
New Britain foul number 24, Jamali Carter.
It would be a great thing for New Britain not only to beat Bristol Eastern, obviously a team that's 9-2, but there's a few things. As you mentioned, that 500 record helps them seeding-wise. It's also just a nice benchmark and kind of a turnaround year. That would be a very successful year.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think, of course, I don't really know how they see about it, but when you go out and talk about your past season or your current season, I think it'd be a little better to say you went 500 than having a losing record. So I think for them it might be a pride thing and just a seeding thing because we don't know how it's going to turn out in the upcoming days.
One free throw made, and it's 9-5, Bristol Eastern. They go on a little 5-0 run. New Britain getting the ball to Mejia, driving. She misses. Carter went for the offensive rebound. It came off the rim hot. Transition for Bristol Eastern. The pull-up by Collins is no good. And New Britain will once again look to break the press. Quickly up the floor. Oh, Sliz turned it over into the hands of Sage Scarrett, who knocks down the jump shot from just inside the free throw line. And once again, New Britain turns it over.
That full court press is really doing wonders for Bristol Eastern right now.
Well, they double team Sliz. And if you see two coming at you, that means somebody's open somewhere.
Definitely, and I think it's, especially for New Britain's situation, they might have maybe two people that are ball dominant on the team, two guards. Even though it might be listed as, 3 or 4 guards, there's usually 1 or 2 people that can dribble the ball really good. So you always, if you're a defense, you always want to get out of those guys' hands and try to get it into maybe one of the big people's hands who isn't that good at dribbling around the court. And so far, that's worked for Bristol Eastern thus far.
It is 11-5, the Lancers over the Hurricanes, and we have our first mask break of the game. They come at the first stoppage after the 4-minute mark in each quarter. And that mask break, as you mentioned last time we worked together, kind of a built-in timeout. And in a case with Bristol Eastern going on a run here, that really is an advantage for New Britain right then.
Definitely. I think the only difference between a mask break and a timeout is you can't really get together as a group. It's supposed to be a social distancing event.
How about that move by Kira Collins, the spin in the paint, and the touch for the finish. 13-5, Bristol Eastern. New Britain with sharp movement into the front court. And Kaylee Cahill's jump shot from outside, no good. Bristol Eastern looking to run. Collins pops and misses. Now New Britain going the other way. Mejia up the floor. On the fast break, the layup by Carter, no good. Her second attempt also wouldn't go. And we get a stoppage with 3:13 to go in the first. Quick sub in coming here for New Britain. As Maya Kelly. She enters the game. Replaces Jamiley Carter on the floor. Tegan Parent wearing number 2 for Bristol Eastern, seeing time. Collins, nice look inside for the lay-in by Sage Scarrett. They do such a great job of a couple passes on the perimeter and then one inside. Jumping the lane, looking for the turnover. Alyssa Keller has got it. She got it underneath. The foul's going to be called on Kaylee Lee, and it looked like she got plenty of ball on it, but maybe caught the hip as well of Emma Stavins, who was underneath. But once again, it's that full court press forcing another turnover. All of a sudden, Bristol Eastern has a 10-point lead, looking for more.
Yeah, and that's already their 4th turnover with a little under 3 minutes to go in the first. And we were just talking about them in their last time out and how good they did at keeping the ball, keeping the possession going. A few days ago, I believe they had under double-digit turnovers, and as of right now, they're well on their way past that. So they got to tighten it up. So as of right now,
after that, New Britain 3, a 13-0 run for Bristol Eastern. And they just work the ball down the floor. But that's a travel. Alyssa Keller couldn't get the ball on the floor on the fast break for the dribble before shuffling her feet. Maya Sliz into the front court for New Britain. Her jump shot wouldn't go. Bristol Eastern in transition. Collins pops for three and misses. Defensive rebound, Maya Kelly, and up and down the floor we go. Sliz with a couple of moves at half court. Try to open up some space for herself. As we approach 2 minutes left in the first. Sliz, the take. Good take, but she couldn't hit. Bristol Eastern wants a timeout as Tony Floyd calls it from the sideline. 1:48 to go in the first. It's a commanding lead for Bristol Eastern early on. 17-5 the Lancers over the Hurricanes. (17-5) Bristol Eastern. Their full court press really giving them fits, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about this during the break that every time New Britain gets the ball to one of their guards, the opposing their teammates just kind of run away from the ball, hoping to make some miracle pass through the full length of the court. So as we see out there, they finally got it past half court, but it's just been a struggle for them just to move the ball, never mind score the ball this quarter.
Sage Scarrett with the last jump shot made for Bristol Eastern. Now a 15-0 run for the Lancers. New Britain into their half-court set. From the corner, a three is good for Kaylee Cahill, who just missed on her first three, but looked good on that corner three after hitting 5 last week. That breaks up that 15-0 run. 50 seconds left in the first, 19-8 Bristol Eastern.
And as you're just talking about, that just snapped Bristol Eastern's 15-0 run so far.
Nice defensive board there by Nevaeh King. Seeing time for the Lady Canes. Maya Sliz with 35 seconds. Here in quarter number 1. Making her moves, and she gets fouled out near the three-point line. Bro Piper likes that. Hey, if things aren't going your way and the team is maybe a little more well-oiled of a machine, faster, more experienced, one thing you can do is try to draw fouls, and that was a smart play by the senior Sliz.
Yeah, and I think, of course, you're never going to talk about talent for either of the teams, but one thing she could tell them is you can definitely out-hustle the other team. Just getting up and down on the court, and we saw it there. Even though they were able to get a foul on the play, it's always good for you to be over-hustling the other team, because that could be a big thing on getting back into a game.
Another foul. So that's 2 quick ones on Bristol Eastern. That last one on Callie Doyen.
Also a quick note for Bristol Eastern. Their leading scorer, Kira Collins, has just been taken out of the game for a possible injury going on to our left. So quick note for the future.
Good note. Hopefully she's okay. 12 seconds to go here in the first. The ball goes back to Bristol Eastern, and they'll look for the last shot of the first, up 19-8. It's down to 5 seconds. Layla Mejia knocked it out. 5.3 on the clock. Callie Doyen to inbound for the Lancers. Tegan Parent, the handoff. Doyen's got to get it off, and she never does. Well defended by New Britain there at the end, and they have a little bit of momentum to take with them into the second quarter. Bristol Eastern 19, New Britain 8 after 1 quarter tonight on Mill Street in New Britain. We're back after this. 19-8, Bristol Eastern with the lead. New Britain with the basketball as we begin the second quarter. Nice dribble drive for the layup. Layla Mejia on the weave. Able to get her way in, and then getting back defensively, Maya Kelly with the block from behind on the layup attempt by Alyssa Keller. New Britain within 9 and with the basketball. I might have to stand up, Ryan.
Yeah.
Maya Sliz rises and fires for 3. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-possession game. New Britain on a nice little run here. That's broken up right away. The pull-up jump shot by Alyssa Keller makes it 21-13 Bristol Eastern, but New Britain is definitely back in it a little more.
Definitely, and one thing that they're doing good so far is shooting the three-pointers, already 3 for 5 from downtown.
Maya Sliz starting to feel it. Pulls up from the elbow, hits the jumper. Back to a 6-point game. Keller, her jump shot, she rattles it in, and we're trading baskets. They're playing horse here on Mill Street. 23-15, Bristol Eastern. And a foul in the backcourt. Callie Doyon reaching in.
As we were just talking about towards the end of the first quarter about that injury for junior guard Kira Collins, she seems to be all right. She's back in the game to start the quarter.
And back in the game for the Lady Canes, number 21, Kenny Lee.
In the backcourt, Mejia breaks the press. New Britain working it out. Deep one for Sliz. No good. A nice offensive play by Kaylee Cahill, boxing out. She gets the basket back after the back tap to Sliz. Kaylee Lee lays it in. And it's a 5-point game, and then New Britain almost had the steal. Kaylee Lee was there, but couldn't hang on to it. A 5-point game as New Britain has rallied. Here's Collins, the cheerleaders in attendance today for New Britain, giving us some life in the building. And turned over by Bristol Eastern. Now it's New Britain's turn, putting on that defense. Sliz from deep. Oh boy, that would have exploded the gym and made it a 3-point game.
It would have made that 30-person crowd sound like 120.
Yes. Kaylee Cahill takes the ball away. Sliz working it up the floor, and look out. Sage Scarrett going for the steal. Almost took out the Bristol Eastern scorer.
Maya Sliz looked to be upset, and that play is some miscommunication between her and her teammates.
Well, big possession here for New Britain with 5.5 to go in the second. They can make it a 1-possession game here in the second quarter. Sliz looking for the handoff near half court. They avoid the over and back with Mejia racing over. The handoff to Sliz. Callie Doyon on Sliz. Maya Sliz outside, a forced shot. Mejia's 3 is off the mark. Collins in transition, pulls up, pops and hits. Silky smooth on that jump shot. She's got a good feel for it on that pop and shoot.
Looking to eclipse one of her best games of the year, 33 points in their previous game against New Britain.
They're taking away Sliz. The handoff for Mejia. Nice dump down pass underneath. Lee rejected. And Bristol Eastern wants transition. Collins up the floor in a hurry. Janessa Gonzalez lays it in. It's back to a 10-point lead for Bristol Eastern.
Been some back and forth runs for both teams.
Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the second. New Britain has whistled for an illegal screen, so they turn it back over to Bristol Eastern. Kaylee Lee Whistle for a moving screen there with 4 minutes to go in the second. Well, 4 minutes to go in the second means a mask break, so we'll take a break as well. It's 27-17 Bristol Eastern over New Britain here in the second quarter. (27-17). Bristol Eastern leads it, and out of the mask break, New Britain forces the turnover. Carter comes away with a steal. Cahill up the floor. From dead on, downtown, off the window, and good from Mejia. Back to a 7-point game. And New Britain nearly with a steal there. After the three, Mejia hustling back. Almost came away with it. Bristol Eastern looking for the answer. The three is no good by Scarrett. Out in the corner. Keller saved it. Burl Piper said that she stepped out of bounds. The official was right there, no whistle, and we play on. Scarrett didn't know what to do with it, and a good aggressive play by Maya Kelly, forcing the jump ball.
Scarrett thought she got hit in the eye. She didn't really know what to do on that play.
She might have actually gotten hit in the eye because she comes off. Yeah, she might have got poked right in the eye, which that does not feel good.
Coming from somebody that's gotten hit with a baseball in the face, I could tell you nothing to the face ever feels good in a sport.
Was it when you were hitting?
Yeah, it was when I was
hitting. A pitched ball?
Yes, pitched ball.
What level was that? How fast is that one coming in?
I want to say Little League. It actually happened to me and my brother. My brother happened, I think, twice in the same game. And
in the same game?
For him, yeah. Back-to-back at bats, so it's not a great experience.
No, it is not. I could tell you a tale about our friend Coach Mercado taking a fastball and staying in the game up against Enfield. His face ballooned, but he stayed in the game and New Britain won. It was the true New Britain Hurricane way 20-something odd years ago.
I think the worst experience I've ever seen with somebody getting hit in the face was actually in Little League. One of my teammates this year got hit in the head while he was in Little League. Fastball about 80 miles an hour, and he was taken to the hospital. So that's never a good sign, especially when you're in Little League. You're always a little worried after that.
Absolutely. Callie Doyon hit the last jump shot for Bristol Eastern. That opens them up a 9-point lead with 2:14 to go in the second. Janessa Gonzalez commits the foul for Bristol Eastern, and that's 5 fouls for Bristol Eastern. Maya Sliz goes to the free throw line. It's always good when you're down to be able to stop the clock, and we referenced those fouls earlier. They add up eventually and give you a chance here with 2:14 to go in the second to earn some freebies.
Yeah, and one thing that's a little different about high school rather than the pros, what I just picked up on is that the fouls, they go through the first half. They don't reset every quarter, which I thought was a little interesting considering it's 16 minutes at a time. So for teams that are in foul trouble, that could be a little disadvantage for them sending their opposing teams to the line.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Sandra Silva had the rebound. New Britain works the ball to the right wing. Mejia's three wouldn't fall. Tegan Parent with a rebound for Bristol Eastern. Keller swings it. Doyon dumps the ball down underneath. That is a play that Bristol Eastern runs very well, and New Britain has not had an answer for it. Janessa Gonzalez lays it in, and it's an 8-point lead for Bristol Eastern.
Just when you think New Britain's getting in the striking distance, try to take the lead, Bristol Eastern goes on a bit of a 7-0 run, go back up double digits.
Nice look by Sliz underneath. New Britain keeps it alive. The jump shot, no good for Zandra Silva. Bristol Eastern looking to work it down the floor in transition. They get the ball to Janessa Collins for another fast break lay-in. And with 50 seconds to go in the second, it's up to an 11-point lead for Bristol Eastern.
New Britain possibly going to try to go for a 2-for-1 opportunity here, or maybe just try to hold for one shot.
Sliz gets tripped up. 34 seconds to go here in the second. That stops the clock. Plays to New Britain's advantage.
Lancer's foul on Gonzalez for a second in the team's.
It's 2 personal fouls on Gonzalez.
In the game for Lady Canes, number 32, Kaylee Cahill.
Kaylee Cahill back in for New Britain, and Bristol Eastern subs in Audrey Tice for the first time today, number 13 in blue and white. 34 seconds to go here in the first half. The inbounds pass from the baseline, looking for Zandra Silva, poked out by Bristol Eastern, and last touched by Silva, so New Britain turns it over again. At half court, Keller inbounds. Bristol Eastern up 11 with 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter in a nice position. They could save for the last shot, or if they've got a good look at the hoop, they could take the shot. Down to 15 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to settle for one shot here.
Collins driving, too strong off the glass. Couple of offensive rebounds. Collins again putting one up with 7.6 to go on the clock. She's going to the line.
Number 42, Maya Kelly, her first team's fourth. At the line for the Lancers, number 11, Kira Collins, shooting 2.
So 2 free throws here for Kira Collins. She's a baller. When the free throw sounds like that, just that rip, no rim, you know that she gets her freebies.
That puts her up to 11 points on the game.
35-22, 4 seconds to go. New Britain gets the ball to Sliz. She's got to get it off. It would not count, and that's the half. 35-22, Bristol Eastern has the lead at halftime. They gave New Britain all they could handle with their full court press. The fast break really worked for Bristol Eastern. They had that outside to inside game working for them in their half court pieces. New Britain with a couple of rallies, cut it to two possessions a couple of times, but at halftime they're down 35-22.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things so far that's kind of been the turning point in this game was New Britain's 7 turnovers compared to Bristol Eastern's 3, and that's a credit to their very good full court defense, which is causing a lot of problems for New Britain so far. So we'll see if they can make the adjustments at halftime and maybe get back in the game, and for Bristol Eastern, just want to control the tempo and keep this lead.
35-22. Great assessment, Ryan. We'll be back for the second half after this break in about 6 minutes. We begin the second half with a steal by Kira Collins and a fast break lay-in. And Bristol Eastern, pardon me, 10 seconds into the third quarter with another turnover, directly turning into points, and it's a 15-point lead for the Lancers. And now an offensive foul whistled against New Britain, another illegal screen, and that one's on Jamiley Carter.
Back-to-back turnovers out of the break that cannot make Coach Piper too happy.
Not how they drew it up coming out of the half.
It's not at all.
New Britain with the steal. Maya Kelly, the in-your-face defense, and that allowed Mejia to jump the lane and steal. To the elbow for the quick jump shot. No good by Kaylee Lee, but an offensive rebound by Maya Kelly. Excuse me, Jamiley Carter. Jamiley Carter with the offensive rebound. And that'll put her on the line. Scarrett commits it. 3 personals on Scarrett.
Something to look for going into the fourth quarter.
Carter misses both of them, but an offensive rebound. Ripped down by Lee and the kick out. The 3 is no good for Sliz. The ball goes out of bounds wisely. Callie Doyon just let it roll, and it goes back to the Lancers. 37-22, Bristol Eastern, 1 minute into the third quarter. There's that play where they get Sage Scarrett, the old pick and roll, and she lays it in, 39-22. That 3 got blocked. Keller with the block on Mejia. New Britain's getting the ball back. Kaylee Cahill got down the floor and disrupted it.
Forget offense. New Britain's going to need a couple of defensive stops from to cut this deficit because they cannot seem to stop that pick and roll action for Bristol Eastern.
Sliz around the screen, drives to her left hand, her offhand, able to score with both the right and the left. Very impressive. That's a tough foul call against New Britain. Coach Piper thought that it was a good job by Lee getting her hand on the ball, but they call her for the foul.
One thing Bristol Eastern has been doing well so far is getting out and running right after the quick baskets for New Britain. You see a couple of the players for New Britain can't really recover, and that's resulting in either easy layups or some fouls get them to the free throw line.
Janessa Gonzalez at the free throw line. Maya Kelly re-enters. Nice play by Jamiley Carter to maintain the possession for New Britain on the defensive rebound. Sliz hopping it outside. And they're going to whistle New Britain for another illegal screen. This one looks like it's on Jamiley Carter. Nevaeh King will check in for the Golden Hurricanes. And that is 3 personals on Jamiley Carter. (40-24), Bristol Eastern has built a 16-point advantage. That's their largest, I do believe, of the game. they have a 17-point lead at one point in the first half, or was it 15?
I believe it was 17.
Okay, so their second largest advantage of the game. It's been a long day. It's all starting to blend together. This whole year has felt like one long day.
It has, and for us, we just got the email today that we're able to go back to school in March.
That was a really great thing to see. Listen, man, we miss you guys. Everybody has done such a good job, all the teachers and educators and distance learning. The jump shot is good by Layla Mejia, but there's nothing like seeing you guys in person back in the classroom. I'm sure everybody might be feeling a lot of things, right? This has been a weird time, and there may be some anxiety, I'm sure, for a lot of folks, but there's also excitement. And it's just going to be really great to see all the kids in school, or many more of them at least, and get together as we try to return to a little bit of normalcy. There's the runner. It goes to its home for Maya Sliz. That thing was halfway out and said, nah, I'm going down.
And I know from a student's perspective, I'm ready to go back into school. I remember the first 2 weeks where we got sent home, we were kind of happy, like, oh, we got a little nice long vacation. And then that 2 weeks turned into a year and 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get back into school, and especially for me as a senior, I think I can speak for everybody when I say maybe we could get some of our senior events going if they're opening everything back up.
Well, you know, it's so important to do our part. We're not quite out of the woods yet. Things are looking better, right? So we got to continue to mask and wash our hands and do all the things that we've been doing for a year. And it's not like I don't think a switch is going to be flipped and boom, we're good.
Yeah. I know other than the state of Texas, they allow everything still being very strict with the masks and all that stuff. So we still got to be careful, but everything seems to be going in the right direction.
Collins with a jump shot in the paint. Kira Collins has two more to make it 42-28, Bristol Eastern. And of course, the spring sports seasons will begin in earnest in the next few days.
2 days from now.
Another illegal screen set by New Britain and another foul. Or is that just a carry? Oh, sorry, that was a 5-second violation.
And back in game for the Lady Kings, number 23, Nevaeh King.
New Britain gets the turnover. Bristol Eastern trying to cross that, send that pass cross court. Mejia around the screen. Cahill. One more pass to Mejia. Mejia lost a handle on it, but bounces it over to the corner. Silva a three. No good, but she hits the glass hard for the offensive rebound. Good efforts by New Britain underneath. They can't come away with it. And Bristol Eastern is on the fast break, and man, oh man, Kira Collins is a player. She bursts down the floor. She's got an extra gear than the rest. Watching her get down the floor on the fast break's been impressive. Pearl Piper with a timeout.
Already up to 17 points on the night, leading all scorers in that department.
44-28. Bristol Eastern with a lead. A 30-second timeout for Coach Piper, so we'll keep it here. 44-28. Bristol Eastern with the lead. New Britain with the basketball. Here's we approach 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And we get another stoppage and another foul against Bristol Eastern.
Bristol Eastern foul number 25.
And they give this one to Scarrett. That's 4 personals on Sage Scarrett. So she's going to have to go to the bench with 4 fouls. Tegan Parent checks in.
Is it 6 fouls in high school or 5? I believe it's 6. I'm just not 100% sure.
Good active defense here by Bristol Eastern, running around to the ball. New Britain trying to break it by putting it in the hands of Mejia, driving baseline. And they call it jump ball.
I haven't seen a lot of jump balls this game, opposed to other games.
For the Lady Canes, number 3.
Yeah, there was that game we did the other day. I think there were 4 jump balls in the first quarter.
Yeah, because we were talking about how that was going to have a big impact going down the stretch. There was a good amount of jump balls in that game. Not a lot today.
Collins inside against the double team. It wouldn't go. Rolls out, and then I think she's going to get whistled for going over the back. Foul on Collins.
Foul number 11, Kira Collins. That's her first. Team's third.
Bristol Eastern up 16. New Britain with their number of their starters out there, including Sliz, who knocks down the long distance 3. Contested at that. 2 minutes to go in the third, and it's a 13-point game.
7 of the 9 third quarter points for New Britain coming from Maya Sliz.
Looking for a stop and try to chip it down to a single-digit deficit. Doyon calls out the play. Stavens off the bench, and we're going to have a foul off the ball. They whistle this one against New Britain. Burl Piper doesn't like it at all. They get the ball in on the baseline throw to Collins, who pops and hits. 2 more for Kira Collins. So that foul hurts New Britain. Turns directly into 2 quick points. New Britain gets them back. They work the ball to Layla Mejia from the block for the lay-in. Back to a 13-point game with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. And New Britain going for the steal. This one goes over the half-court line. Sliz hits the deck, manages not to travel. New Britain on the fast break. What a get-back play by Kira Collins defensively. And New Britain's got a hurt player in Maya Kelly, who got tangled up going for that loose ball at half-court and appears to have...
Looked like she also got hit in the eye.
Yeah, maybe twisted an ankle or knee, but also got caught in the eye.
Lady Canes foul number 32, Kaylee Cahill. That's her first.
Kaylee Cahill committing a foul.
And at the line,
And that will bring Kelly to the bench.
she'll be shooting 2.
Tough play by Kelly. You gotta love the grit. And shake it up in a couple of ways, but goes to the bench like, nah, I'm good. That didn't look like she was good.
No, it didn't.
41.9 seconds to go on the clock here in the third, a 13-point game, and Kira Collins on the line. Missed one, a rare miss. Maybe feeling the noise from the cheerleaders.
Yeah, it's one of the few times we've had that this season.
They're missing out on their season too, so it's great to see the New Britain High Golden Hurricanes cheerleaders in the stands today, doing their thing. Cahill for Sliz. 23 seconds to go in the third. A 14-point lead for Bristol Eastern. Sliz, the take. Her drive off the window too strong. And we've got a travel underneath on Bristol Eastern, so it stays with the Hurricanes with 15.9 to go in the third. Sandra Silva begging for the ball, saying, come on, give it to me. I got a play to run here, ref. The official says, easy. You're on my time. I'm wearing the striped shirt. That's the play they wanted, the inbounds play. And a three by Sliz wouldn't go. Good hustle play by Sandra Silva. I like her game. Sliz at half court. 3 seconds. She drives and scores at the buzzer. Maya Sliz with an energy play at the end of the third. New Britain is down 12 with 8 minutes to go. Typical New Britain. A lot of quit. No quitting in New Britain as we head to the fourth. Bristol Eastern leads at 47-35. Fourth quarter, 47-35. Bristol Eastern has the lead. New Britain has the basketball, but then it's turned over. It's lost at half court by Silva. She'll get back and commit the foul. No uncontested layup on the fast break for Emma Stavens. So Sandra Silva turning it over at half court. Getting back, trying to make Bristol Eastern earn it, and the first free throw is missed. So it was a good foul after a tough turnover.
It was. I mean, coach shouldn't be too happy with the turnover, but if it can result in anything less than 2 points, I guess you got to be satisfied.
And it does, 1 point. So 48-35, 7:43 to go in regulation. Maya Sliz, who had that bucket at the end of the third, going 1v1 on Janessa Gonzalez. Silva grabs the pass. Mejia steps outside with it, isolating Stavens. They kick it out. Silva's shot was blocked. It ends up nearly back with her. A fight for it down low, and another jump ball.
Possession to Bristol Eastern.
They weren't able to keep possession. That was a good hustle by Xandra Silva, trying to follow up her shot with the offensive rebound. Just wasn't able to capitalize.
Kira Collins with the block. She does a little bit of it all for Bristol Eastern. 7 minutes to go. Xandra Silva gets up on Tegan Parent. Sliz going for the steal, and it's over and back. Backcourt violation against Bristol Eastern that Sliz causes.
As you were alluding to earlier in the game, that in-your-face defense Bristol Eastern was playing, New Britain's trying to take advantage of doing stuff like that, and it worked with a turnover there.
Sliz Looking for an opening, steps back, in and out. Her foot was on the line, it would have been a long two. Defensive rebound for Gonzalez. And this one stays with Bristol Eastern. New Britain got back and Layla Mejia knocked it out of bounds. From the elbow, the turnaround jump shot off the inbounds play is good for Janessa Gonzalez. We've made a lot about Kira Collins today, but Janessa Gonzalez is having a nice day.
She is. She's already up to 10 points on the day, and her contribution cannot be taken for granted thus far.
For sure. Any time you're contributing double figures, you're certainly affecting the outcome. That's a three, and it's good for Kaylee Cahill. That makes it a 12-point game. Approaching 6 minutes left. Travel against Bristol Eastern, and now with 6:03 on the clock, down 12, New Britain has a chance to cut it to a 10-point game with a two-pointer. A three would make it a single-digit game. And New Britain keeps hanging on. Sliz, shaking left, going right. Great pass underneath for the layup, no good for Mejia. And now Collins lost a handle on it, but they're able to keep it alive. The swing pass, Toyon for three. She nails it, and that's a big shot for Bristol Eastern. That back opens up a big lead, 53-38.
And unless my notes are wrong, that's the first three-point make for Bristol Eastern all day.
Well, they've been fast breaking New Britain to death. Transitioning off turnovers and a fast break buckets. Sliz takes it. No foul called. Offensive rebound, and the putback is good for Nevaeh King. Back to a 13-point game. A jump shot on the pull-up, no good for Doyon after hitting the three. 5 minutes to go in the fourth. New Britain down 13. Sliz gets her screen from King. Handing it back to Kaylee Cahill. Now Zandra Silva. Sliz, a contested three. No good. Goes front iron. And Bristol Eastern's looking a fast break. Keller. That misses. And the offensive rebound for Janessa Gonzalez results in a foul. And free throws coming for Janessa Gonzalez.
Lady Kings foul number 23, Nevaeh King. Her first team's second.
Nevaeh King with a foul. Burl Piper wants a timeout here with 4:36 to go in the fourth. Sometimes you'll see a coach wait for the first free throw, then the timeout, kind of try to cool off the free throw shooter. But Coach Piper wants a timeout right now.
Yeah, I'm sure she's going to tell her team they need to get a bit of a run. A little under 5 minutes left, down 13. They're going to need to pull some stops together. They want to get back in the game. They're not in desperate mode yet, but they're certainly getting there.
This evening, Kings Juniors are directed by Coach Randy Hennequin.
We'll take a quick break here, back with the final 4.5 minutes. After the full 60-second timeout by Burl Piper, 4:36 to go in the fourth. Janessa Gonzalez on the free throw line for 2 free throws. 53-40. Bristol Eastern with a 13-point lead. Make it 14. Now 15-point lead with 4:36. So a lot of fight from New Britain, but you just see how strong Bristol Eastern is and why they're looking at if they take care of business here for the rest of the 4.5 minutes. A 10-win regular season in what's been anything but a regular season for everybody. The jump shot, no good. King fighting for that rebound. Cahill getting in there as well. Travel against Bristol Eastern keeps it with New Britain. They run their offense beautifully, and but they play both sides of the ball. They play that in-your-face defense that they transition into offense, and then whether it's on the fast break or in their half-court sets, they get that ball inside very effectively and run their plays efficiently.
Yeah, and one thing we've seen from teams in the past is they either have a very good defense or a very good offense that they run, but Bristol Eastern seems to have both. They have a very good offense that they run with a lot of back screens to get easy layups, and then their full-court press has been a big difference in this game.
Good effort by Silva underneath after the air ball on the straightaway three by Mejia. And we've got a mask break here in the fourth, our final one. A 15-point lead for Bristol Eastern with 3:53 to go. .352 to go in the fourth. And New Britain going for the steal. They've got it. It's coughed up by Doyon. Fast break. Sliz on the lay-in. 55-42. Down 13. Bristol Eastern on their own fast break. Beautiful pass across the court for the lay-in. Emma Stavins. They just keep answering. New Britain's been hovering around that 13-point deficit. Not able to do much more, and they turn it over. Sliz hitting the deck, taken away by Collins, quickly up the floor. Lee got back defensively. Now Silva with a steal for New Britain. And she's looking to run and gun. Sliz, a three, air ball. And the rebound by Doyon. She moves it up the floor, and they hit the deck. Sliz almost took it away from Collins. Then a sliding play by Lee. Underneath against Scarrett. 2:52 to go in the fourth, and Bristol Eastern will inbound. Doyon sends it in. Stavins got poked in the eye.
It's already the third player that got poked in the eye this game.
Lady Kings foul number 21, Kaylee Lee. That's her fourth, team's eighth.
Stavins is going to head off and probably try to wash her eye out. Lee felt like she didn't poke her in the eye, but I think Stavins would know.
Yeah.
If you're on the receiving end of it, you're like, listen, how do you think I produced this tear?
Like, look, there's a way to flop. There's a way to flop in when you play basketball, but that didn't look like a flop.
No, that looked like a poke. So 15-point lead for Bristol Eastern, who won 64-46 last time. An 18-point victory, and it's looking about the same here today.
Yeah, I was going to say, very similar score getting up to that point. New Britain looking like they might eclipse their previous total from their last game.
bonus situation. And at the foul line will be number 13, Audrey Tice.
Audrey Tice to the free throw line, a freshman, seeing some time here at varsity for Bristol Eastern.
I've been big on freshmen all year.
Yes, you have.
Playing varsity. I think that's a big accomplishment.
Get your feet wet.
Yeah.
There's nothing like experience. Kind of like a rookie broadcaster getting his broadcast start here in his senior year. Like my partner tonight, Ryan Lipinski. I'm Randy Brochu. Glad to be with you tonight for the final regular season game of the year for New Britain High School girls basketball against Bristol Eastern. The Lancers looking at a 10-win season. Sliz driving. Will pick up a trip to the line with 2:20 to go. And New Britain will learn where their seeding will be in the postseason. They believe Saturday that'll be all sorted out.
I'm sure one of the things that's in some of the back of the players' mind, especially the seniors, is that with this, what's looking like a possible loss, unless something dramatic happens the last 2 minutes, that this is going to be their last home game for their high school careers. Because a lot of people think it's based off of senior night, but senior night might not be their last home game. It might just be the day that they celebrate their 4 years here. So for the couple of the, I believe it's the 4 New Britain High School seniors, this could be an emotional post game for them, knowing this is possibly going to be the last time they ever step on the court.
That is a great point, young man from the class of 2021 himself. You put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the game here, and you make a lot of memories that stay with you for life on this gym floor. Maya Sliz has had a great career. She has 2 more, and then a steal almost at half court by Layla Mejia. So Sliz having a nice, perhaps, final game at Chick Shea Gymnasium. Pearl Piper calls a timeout here with 1:50 to go in the 4th. 13-point game, and Coach Piper using this opportunity to, again, coach them up. Fight to the end, down by 13, but still scrapping and trying to hang in there.
Yeah, one thing about New Britain is you know they're never going to go away until that final whistle blows. So Coach looking to get them pumped and maybe get a rally going in the last 2 minutes or so.
In that huddle, of course, with Coach Piper is one of the best players who ever played here. Simone Roberts, assistant coach, and she graduated in 2009. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she might be a 2,000-point scorer. She went on to play at Providence in the Big East. It was just such a joy to watch play basketball here, and that was the glory days, one of Coach Piper's state championships. I think maybe 2, actually.
I was not around for those years.
When were you born? Make me feel old real quick.
When was I born?
Yeah,
2003.
Oh, my goodness. You were born in 2003.
I was born in 2003.
That's when, as we get ready for baseball, those 2003, 2004 years between the Yankees and the Red Sox. I hope you watch MLB Network at least to see the documentaries on them, because that was...
No, I do.
That was wild. Sliz a 3, off the mark. And a good battle underneath. Jamiley Carter getting on the floor, as well as Kaylee Lee, the co-captain.
Lady Canes foul number 3 by Sliz.
Sliz commits the foul with 1:26 to go. Only Sliz's first personal foul tonight.
A lot of scoring, not a lot of fouling up to this point.
Number 12, Kelly Doyen. She was shooting 101.
It's not a good thing, though, for New Britain. They already had 9 fouls, so any foul from here on out puts Bristol Eastern in the bonus.
She missed the front end of the 1-and-1, so New Britain gets the rebound down 13, but just 1:22 to go in regulation. Sliz the handoff. Mejia has fouled. So Layla Mejia will go to the line.
Lancers foul number 32.
Down by 13. Stevens commits the foul.
Team's 5th line for the Lady Canes, number 34, Layla Mahia, shooting 2.
Mahia hits the first. Down to a 12-point game. There she goes 2 for 2. So it's Bristol Eastern by 11, looking a fast break. They work the ball, and the up and under by Collins is good. Wow, what a great move.
That's her first point of the fourth quarter. They haven't really needed her to take on a lot of the scoring load in this quarter.
Sliz to her left hand, no good. The defensive rebound by Diane, and she sends it up the floor. The layup attempt no good by Stavens. Great hustle by New Britain to get back. 48.2 to go. It'll be Bristol Eastern basketball. I just got a great note from Coach Cordo. You know, Simone Roberts, not only one of the best players here, but also in the country. She was the Gatorade Player of the Year.
Wow.
Kaylee Lee with a lay-in for New Britain. 30 seconds to go. Yeah, that was a great accomplishment. Collins with 20 seconds, going to dribble out here. Let's see if Bristol Eastern's just going to put it in their back pocket. And will New Britain foul here? And the game's over at this point, and they're just going to let them play it out. Well, good grit again by New Britain, hanging in there to the end. They're going to force a travel here by Collins. 4.7 seconds to go.
New Britain always going to play hard, so that final whistle you saw there.
And that makes them a tough draw in the conference tournament. Very interested to see where they'll be. Sliz, one more shot here in this final regular season game of the year at Chick-Shea Gymnasium. It doesn't go, and tonight Bristol Eastern beats New Britain 59-48. With that win, Bristol Eastern has a 10-win season, 10-2 in the regular season, and they are cruising into the postseason. New Britain will finish the regular season 5-7, and they'll await the word as to where they'll be playing next week in postseason basketball. And we'll be back Saturday for boys basketball.
We will. That'll be the last regular season game for both teams, and hopefully we'll look forward to a possible home game for either team, and we'll be here.
That would be great. As always, great job, Ryan.
Thank you. Great job to you as well.
My guy. The future voice of some team somewhere. Ryan Lipinski, class of 2021, joining me as always on this season. Who knew you'd be on the air so much, but boy.
I didn't. I just thought I'd be here taking notes.
Well, you're doing a great job. All right, that'll do it tonight. Bristol Eastern with a win. And the varsity boys basketball game has not begun yet, but that'll begin shortly. Coach Cordo telling us that you can watch it on Facebook tonight. So you got something to do with the rest of your Thursday night. For Mr. Steve Bugnacki, our brains behind the operation, and Drew Mals, who is making things look nice and sharp by updating that score bug, our technical director, we'll call him. Can we call you that? Lisa Kowecki is our I don't know. Lisa just is who we all listen to because she kind of runs it. And Coach Cordo, of course. Randy Brosh is saying, so long. Thanks for joining us. Bristol Eastern with a win. And good night from Mill Street.